The Frozen Wings Disaster, Air Florida Flight 90, 1982. On January 13, 1982, Washington, D.C. was buried under one of the worst snowstorms in years. Roads were frozen, airports were struggling, visibility was poor, and icy winds swept across the runway at Washington National Airport. Despite the dangerous weather, Air Florida Flight 90 prepared for departure. The Boeing 737 was scheduled to fly from Washington, D.C. to Fort Lauderdale. The aircraft was carrying 79 passengers and crew. Passengers hoped to escape the freezing cold and reach warmer weather within hours. But the storm outside was becoming deadly. As snow continued falling, airport crews sprayed de-icing fluid onto the aircraft wings. However, due to long delays on the runway, fresh ice quickly formed again. Inside the cockpit, warning signs began appearing. The aircraft engines were not producing normal power readings. Ice was affecting critical systems. But under pressure to depart, the crew continued preparing for takeoff. At 3:59 p.m., Flight 90 accelerated down the snowy runway. The aircraft struggled to gain speed. Passengers could feel something was wrong. As the Boeing 737 finally lifted off, it barely cleared the runway. The plane climbed only a few hundred feet before losing lift. Ice covering the wings prevented the aircraft from generating enough airflow to stay airborne. Then disaster struck. The aircraft began descending rapidly toward the frozen Potomac River. Cars on a nearby bridge suddenly saw the jet approaching at terrifying speed. Within seconds, the plane slammed into the 14th Street Bridge, crushing vehicles before crashing into the icy river below. The impact shattered the aircraft. Freezing water surrounded the survivors. Many passengers were trapped inside the wreckage. Rescue helicopters arrived quickly, but the freezing temperatures made survival almost impossible. One passenger became a symbol of courage. A man later identified as Arland Williams repeatedly passed rescue lines to other survivors instead of saving himself. By the time rescuers returned for him, he had disappeared beneath the frozen water. His bravery shocked the nation. Out of 79 people on board, only 5 survived. The crash investigation later revealed that ice buildup and pilot error were the main causes. The crew had failed to properly remove dangerous ice before takeoff. The tragedy changed winter aviation procedures forever. Airlines introduced stricter de-icing rules. Pilot weather training improved. New safety systems were developed. Air Florida Flight 90 became one of the most haunting aviation disasters in American history. A tragedy caused by ice and pressure. But by ice, pressure, and a few fatal decisions made during a winter storm. We remember those lost on that cold January day.